All right, everybody. We got them set up a little quicker than I expected. We got Nathan and Mo banging them out here. We're going to see if we can get the legend that is Mike Davis to join us here on the mic for a few minutes, get some quality analysis. But we do have to step away for just a minute. The players were faster than us, and we will be right back. Please, nobody leave. I have a view counter here. I know there's 113 of you, and I will be looking for you. If I come back to 112, 111, I will figure out who you are. Thanks, everybody. I'll be right back, and we can't tell you how much fun we're having. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right, hey guys, this is Mike Davis. I just got in here to do a little commentary. It's a really, really good move. Probably the two top players over here today, Monaim Tunisia and Nathan Childress from Richmond players on that tour. So dry break from a name. Right away, I'm looking at sending the one way down the table, maybe getting the cue ball behind the four. A lot of other ways to play. It looks like he might be going off the other side, put the one behind the 9 ball. That was pretty easy to do as well. And there was 3 balls there to get behind. I think the other way might not have been quite as easy, but if you get the cue ball behind the 4, is like a little more likely to get actually like rows into the 4 and potentially get ball in hand, cut off jump shots. He's got a direct pass at I believe you can just play the combo here. I think he shot that just a tiny bit quick. Monaim's a really, really fast player. Not that Nathan's slow by any means, but Nathan's usually not quite the same pace as Monaim, and he takes, just a little more deliberate, a little more time on every shot. When players get out of their own natural rhythm, I see them usually make a little bit more mistakes than when they stick to what they do best. He wants to shoot. He's such an aggressive. You got to play some fear. Not bad. He kept it simple. Didn't try to do way too much with the cue ball, but he might have actually left a little gap. Even if there's a gap to bank it, like I can't tell how much from this angle, how much of the one Nathan could see, but if he can bank it, he can maybe run the cue ball into the 8 ball. Does look like he's going for the jump. I guess he couldn't see enough to play it. Now I'll probably be trying to play it straight in. He's jumping. Being near the rail, I don't think he wants to do anything tricky with the cue ball, so I think he just kind of roll this in and go 2 rails back and forth, close to where the 2 ball is now for the 3. Hopefully leaving a tiny angle, like center of the table-ish, so you can go 2 rails and break up the 4 and 8 afterwards. Again, I think there was just a little bit of, a little bit quick for Nate. He went for breakout. I don't blame him. Just got to play real simple, safe now. You can go off either side of the ball again. I think he looks like he wants to bank. Doesn't like it's overly aggressive. You can bank it and slide the cue ball right into the 8 ball. A little low outside, but I would probably just put the 3 on the end rail below the 9 and 6. Yeah, that's the shot. So he was really looking like he wanted to fire that in and bank it. But that was such an easy safe. The bank was low percentage. The worst thing to do is go for that bank, miss it, and break the 8 before out. Nice hit. Nice little roll afterward.
Yes, sir. Billy Hines joining the legendary Mike Davis to make it make less sense.
Good to have you back in here, Billy.
Yes, sir. Pleasure. It's been a great day of action up here, man. Same as A lot of you guys' events have been running. We're getting a lot of hill matches on the last day, monster battles. It's been great.
But I think he's supposed to go 2 rails and thin this and go back up table. He went 2 under it. That's the problem with the 2 underneath it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kick and stick and send the 3 up. The sliding under it is somewhat common scratch there.
Yeah. I scratch from there quite a bit, but I'm usually trying to hit it full on, just miss it. But yeah, it's an easy way to scratch.
Yeah, so ideally he'd run right into the 8 here. If he clips the 4 really, really thin, I like the other angle that he had even better. This might be a little bit more consistent, but here going across the balls, the other angle would have been a little more likely to result, have a good result.
Yeah, to leave a little spread there.
Exactly. Since he went dead full into it, that's what didn't spread the balls out well afterwards.
He's about half an inch off. 40.
Hold on just a second. I gotta go call a hit, I guess. Sorry, give me a second.
We lost a commentator to go play referee. Clean. Bit of a tough roll, though. He stuck himself right behind the 7. Looks like he has the edge of the ball, but he's going for the short one. Up and over. Get that explanation from you later when I can use it too.
Okay.
Closes that one out.
Did make a good shot. And, you could tell by the reaction on the cue ball, like if it had crossed through like the tangent line and went forward, it would have been a double hit, but it stayed at the tangent line and then came back. So.
Okay, I couldn't quite hear you over there, but that does definitely make sense. You'd have to hit it twice to cross the tangent.
Really nice break.
Definitely was. The cue ball nice, one sitting right up for him. What's your first immediate concern here?
Racking the balls for the next game because this one's over.
That was kind of what I thought.
Yeah. 2 goes by the 5, right?
Yeah, this looks like
yeah, load down there. I mean, that's the biggest concern. Yeah, just getting that tiny angle, which looks like he came up a little short. He'll still have a shot on the 3. Of course, it'll just be a little longer than what it really could have been. But these young guys they're in their prime, shoot super straight. A little bit of length on the shot is no big deal. To them, having the angle is more important than anything.
Yeah.
In general, I think having the angle is more important than getting close. But there's players like myself and some other ones that really, really like to get close. And if you have a little bit the wrong angle, you can recover as long as you're close enough to make the ball easily. You know.
I got you. Kind of a trait of which one you want to deal with, I guess.
Yeah. And like I said, generally the younger players, they're better off to settle for distance and just leave themselves, you know. And he was going for that again. He was going for distance on the 5 ball, but it did cost him, and that's what happens occasionally, right? If he got perfect on the 2, get closer to the 3. But even here, I'd hate to have to shoot that 5 ball. I would have been playing for the 5 on the side, even on the shot that he just took on the 3 ball.
Oh, okay. All right. You would have pulled that back.
Or went forward. And,
yeah. One way or the other, yeah. Back up to where Mo's at now.
Yeah. Might want to settle for the side. He probably won't. Looks like he's going to load up and put some right spin, but yeah, he's looking at the side now because his initial was to go around it, play the 7 in the same corner, and he still could, but he got a little straightish, got a little elevated. So keep it simple. There was the right call.
I completely agree with that one. Not that anybody cares, but from my ability level, that's definitely the right play.
You can do pretty much anything these guys can do. They just might be a touch more consistent.
A touch, yeah. That's very generous of you. Thank you, Mike. I always do say I feel like I got all the shots. They just don't come out of me when I feel like I know how to do all this stuff, but table proves me wrong. Gets out as expected. Come back to a 2-1 race here. Mo's break. Mo's lead, Mo's break.
All right, so my name is break. He's breaking from the same spot as Nathan, which is pretty smart. Generally, if one guy's really having success, try to rack him the same, break from the same spot. And no luck there. If there's one real weakness in Monaim's game right now, it's the fact that the racking and breaking part. So he pockets balls super well, executes like really, really high level in general. But yeah, the racking part, you know, you got to give yourself a good rack. So he's loading this up with left English to help kill the cue ball a little bit. Very nice. Excellent shot. Yeah, you want to get pretty nice angle here to get all the way back down for the 4. So he hit it firm enough, but he was just like a millimeter too high, and that's all it took to creep close to the rail now. So now he's got to make a really good shot. Yeah, I don't blame him. Stood up on this. Like, looks like he's trying to go basically straight down table, and he's so close to the rail, you got to really kind of punch it. You can't have a smooth forward follow stroke on this. You got to really punch it to get it down. I think he got down just enough. I think I prefer to shoot this with right English. Left English, you're going, you know, trying to make sure you get back around the 6-9 going towards where the cue ball is now. I think it's easier to avoid the balls and know likelihood of scratching if you use writing with this. A little long. And pull it straight back to the rail and out, and have the sticks in the same corner. I think he's trying to match Monaim's pace a little bit still. I've seen Nathan play a lot before. He's an excellent player, but right now, sometimes when we're fatigued, it could happen when the other person looks so loose and confident, like they're in the flow. You kind of want to match that, but that's not Nathan's best style. And that's what caused that little careless error again. I really think if he took just 2 or 3 more seconds, he would have got that cue ball out another foot or so, and this would, be an easy win for him.
Learned it doesn't pay to rush anything in this game.
Yeah, and that shot, just so extreme to try to turn it back and had a tiny, tiny window to get on a 7. He was really asking a lot of himself. Jeremy Jones has said it before. That's when players usually miss, really good players, when they miss, it's because they're trying to do something very unnatural with the cue ball. And that was certainly the case there.
Yeah. Going for just a little bit too much.
But,
or sometimes a lot too much.
Yeah.
That was awful thin, like you said, to have to turn that cue ball, to put so much inside on it and get it to turn. From where I'm sitting, it doesn't look like he even got to the line for the 7, but he might have had it.
That was pretty adventurous too, trying to jump it and cut it back almost 90 degrees.
That's something I was consistent with Mo, man. That dude has no fear. He just goes straight at it. Sometimes it works out, but he does take a lot of chances.
Yeah, he really does. Super aggressive play.
Don't get me wrong, I love to watch that.
I agree. It's actually a lot more fun to watch a really like fast and loose and aggressive player. Like that style's a lot more fun. They fire banks at 100 miles an hour sometimes, that type of thing. But then again, if you want to win,
That's right.
yeah, if you want to win a lot, gotta tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen very few guys over the years that were those real fast, natural players that could keep up with, the consistency of somebody like you with you have an extreme discipline to the way you play. It's really, that's also a joy to watch too. Watching you work those problems out, but you get much better results than a lot of guys do over the long haul. They might look great for 2 racks, 2 or 3 racks here and there or something, but over the long haul, that approach, taking your time, really does matter.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Some part of it is, I played all the top players and try to learn what they do, but other part is I have less talent than some of the guys, so I had to work hard. But there's examples of both, like Earl Strickland's the phenomenal talent, but then Nick Varner or maybe Johnny Archer, like, were the slower, like, kind of really grind you down. And Nick was in no hurry at all, and he won titles at every discipline, every different game there is. Like, so Nick he wasn't ever going to rush a shot. He was going to take his time and make sure he was comfortable with his decision before he shot. Like, and he was very, very consistent for a lot of years because of that.
I grew up watching him play. You got a little player break here. If anybody is unaware, this production provided by Captain Mike Ball Breakers Club. And we are sponsored by Smash Billiards Distributors. We'd appreciate if you guys could take a look at their collection, see what you like. Tony Williams just walked in and shook my hand a second ago. There's another one of our esteemed sponsors at 2112 Percussion here on Capitol Boulevard. If you want to beat it and make noise, he's got it. And if you want it to sound good, he'll teach you. Colin will be back in just a little while. He's with Compass Realty as Colin Anderson, another one of our personally known sponsors, as well as 1010 Auto over between Cary, Holly Springs area over there. Saltbox Construction with Chris and Jackie Rhodes. They're definitely supporters of the tour and the game in general locally. Great people. They'll do good work for you. Some guy named Mike Davis teaches pool lessons, apparently. Looks a lot like this guy sitting next to me here. If you want to get your game right, definitely give him a call. He will help you tighten it up. Joey Glenn's Electric and HVAC Service. Keep you nice and cool. Super Rad Retro Lounge. Steve Olson played this weekend, the owner there. He comes out and plays in most of them, definitely supports all of them. So go down there and have yourselves a good time. A1 House Inspectors, I've known those guys since I was a teenager. It's family business in the third generation. They're the largest home inspector in North Carolina. At least at one point they were by volume. I think they still hold that title, but the oldest, his grandfather literally brought them up. Carolina Pool Boys, and our newest sponsor, EBR Products, also sponsors Ephraim Reyes, and we have some beautiful cues up here for sale. We raffled one yesterday. We have $400 versions and $1,000 versions. Check all those folks out and make sure you take care of them for supporting us, and we will keep bringing this level of action everywhere we can find that will give us room.
I appreciate that, Bill.
Yes, sir.
I could have tried that, but he's got the professional radio DJs. No,
Thank you, sir. I had to be blessed with something. It was a good voice. I'll take it. Could have been worse.
Nathan's on a break and run here while we're going through all that. A very nice run out.
So a little stun here just to drift
Yeah,
over.
maybe you can soft roll it. Hold it with a touch of outside.
I think you would have liked a little more roll, but I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, just a few more inches. Again, and he's not really even made a mistake, but I think he's trying to force just a little bit of a rhythm. When you're playing great, sometimes you're really, really feeling it. You can play in a certain rhythm and play phenomenal, right? But if you're not 100% dialed in, don't force that rhythm. Let it come to you as you get better and better, get more in stroke, then yes, play that way. But don't start off that way and try to force it.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. You build into it. It's a lot less touchy.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to come out of the gate running.
That was an interesting shot there. I don't know if everybody caught that, but he went off both points of the pocket, which when the ball is really deep in the pocket on a diamond, it plays totally different because it couldn't possibly sit that deep on the old Brunswick table, right? So sometimes you got to draw it straight out, or it's going to come off the point funny. But that one actually caught both points and then went back up table on a draw shot. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I could not see that. I leaned down for the mic and the laptop had me. Oh. Not expecting that one, but I kind of feel like, again, that was the result of rush.
Well, if anything, because Mo's such a fast player, he's the type that should never. He plays his best and he just gets down and hits them.
Yeah.
Because that's his natural rhythm. If he's ever second guessing anything, he makes mistakes. But if he just really just drops down perfectly in line with the shot every time, it seems like he just drop down to take 2 strokes quick and fire it in.
Here's how I see him play most of the time. He loves this game.
But he probably for him to get to the next level, because he's, around 750 Fargo, excellent player. But if he ever wants to get to like the, 800 Fargo, he's going to have to learn to slow down and be methodical and consistent. I think a little bit. Even Josh Filler slowed down a little, and he's incredibly talented, obviously, but he's not playing the pace that he did 3 or 4 years ago, and I think that's what allowed him to keep getting better.
Completely agree with that. Right. So even at my level, it helped to slow down a little bit. Actually, I guess at my level, it helped a lot, is the correct way to put it. Yeah, it was a big difference when I started slowing down, trying to be more methodical. Really, really weigh everything instead of just taking my first look.
Yeah, he almost didn't get that ball to the rail, and he was, and his cue ball looks like it's still behind the 7, but not really as far behind the 7 as it could have been. I wonder if Nathan has a shot to see it at all.
He looks like he can see it.
Yeah. So see, that's one of those little careless like errors, and it might cost him, it might not, but he should have been behind that 7 ball like completely frozen and had Nathan kicking.
He said may or may not cost you, but when it does, it's never at a good time. At least with my luck. I don't know. Just gonna go on up and over. Impact, but he ended up leaving Nathan a shot at it here. We can't do that.
That's a shot. It's a little awkward though. He's looking at probably having to run the cue ball into the floor and kind of hope for the best after that. Yeah,
Caught the back of it a little thin.
No, pretty good. Yeah, he was hoping to catch a little more full and basically stop it there. But yeah, this worked out well actually. Yeah.
Other instance, I saw that side pocket move on him. Moved about a half an inch to the right. I saw it.
Sure did.
I wouldn't have noticed that, but I saw him doing it to me. That's where I picked up on it.
They're correct. So this is his bread and butter. Let's just cut it in. Don't even worry about the cue ball much. Just let it fly back and forth. If it hits the 6, it does. But yeah, that's his strength. Any kind of difficult shot, but not really worrying about pinpoint position. Just a guy I want you
counting on that shot make ability. That's good speed.
Yeah, really good speed up front. Looks like they just go basically straight forward. I don't know. Maybe he's got a tiny bit of angle cutting the 6 to the left. Even a tiny little bit's not good on this shot.
No, it does look like it. Okay, he was able to drift and get that 9 ball. That's ballsy. Makes my palms sweat worrying about where that cue ball is going to stop on a shot like that. I'm over here stressing. I ain't even got money on him. He makes it out. Again, to all 129 of you joining us here. Makes this so much more fun. We're already having a blast, but it just makes it so much more fun. Look over and see how many people are hanging out with us.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're right. Go ahead.
Well, he stopped the cue ball more center of the table last time. So if the one's almost where it was before, if he stopped it in the center of the table, he'd have a good shot again. There's some stuff.
Gotta hit this one just right. That's what he does. Okay, you went with the safe.
Yeah.
That's a smart play, but if I was kind of expecting him to go ahead and fire at that one, I'm not sure why. Got
Yeah, I
him.
don't know if safe's good enough though. I mean, the carom isn't easy, but the carom's not hard necessarily either, right?
Yeah.
What happens with the cue ball, who knows? So I think I hit this real firm to make the cue ball hold the tangent line all the way to the 7, and then hopefully come back off the rail. He did hit it real firm.
Yeah, he did.
He jumped up a little on that one though. He doesn't normally do that.
He kind of came straight up.
He's a little short again. I think to run the cue ball, if it bumps to 4 or 5, like maybe he'll go right in between them. But you know, okay, just out some of those 4. Nice. It's hard to see the angle from here.
It really is. We talk about that all the time. Oh, he's going to run into this. He's going to run into that. And he misses it by like 2 feet. I'm like, y'all got to forgive us. We're 6 feet off to the side of the table. We really can't tell.
Yeah. Again, he's on the rail. Like, he might get out, right? But just made it tougher. A lot. Almost out of the budget. Quite. Like one more semi-difficult. His pockets are pretty tight, so you know, even this, like, yeah, he's a big favorite to make it, but he's not like 99 or 100% like he could have been if he went to the other side. So, right.
These pockets will get even the best of them. I was kind of curious how much he was going to try to get out of that pocket, or if he was kind of kill it just north of the pocket there, if he was going to try to pull it far back up. Like you said, he's comfortable with that distance. So,
but it does lead to just occasional mistakes for even the straightest shooters.
And there. And nothing easy, but it's also not something Mo won't fire at. So he's liable to fire that ball in. Just keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's a pocket by the 9, he's probably banking it. I mean, Mo's super aggressive, which at this point there's less balls to play safe behind anyway. Maybe he's looking at a bit of a 2-way, get the cue ball behind the 9. I think is kind of what he looked at just now.
And try to 3 rail back up under the 9.
Yeah, like that was right English.
Oh, look at that.
It's possible that's what he went for. Occasionally we'll do the kick and stick, you know, even when you can see a ball like the 8 or the 9 or something like that. Like I've done it before, even on the 9 ball, and just kick it back up table.
Got a low percentage shot. There's no reason not to. Unless you're like me and you can't ever stick it.
Gonna leave him the same shot.
You know? I would absolutely, yeah. I say I would not be shocked at all. I saw him put his finger on the rails. I would not be shocked at all if he just goes ahead and fires it kick in this ball.
Yeah.
He's unpredictable. He's so aggressive. It's kind of hard to tell.
I think this time he can just spin into it with some right English and maybe go, you know, rail first. If not, if he doesn't like that, he probably will just kick into it 1 rail. Is he looking at kicking a bunch of rails now? Or where the cue ball is going if he cuts that thing.
think that's what he was looking at, was the Q track. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I'll try to rail first it, I guess.
No, he just went to cut it. See, I don't like making it that way. If you're planning to make that ball, I think the spinning into it with the right English would have been the way to go rather than trying to cut it clean, especially not 100 miles an hour like he shot that ball.
Right. So introduces a lot more error than there might have otherwise, or margin for error than there might have otherwise been. It's a lot of speed on it. See the frustration there. That one was definitely unexpected. His cue position looked like he was going to go around the world with that cue ball. I don't know if it was just the way he lined up to look at him, or looked like he was going real high on it there for the first time.
Yeah, I think he was looking at going 2 or 3 rails with top right English. Wouldn't have been bad necessarily, but just it wasn't necessary, and could have scratched on the side trying to go that way. Could have came up way short. You're going away from, like, if you imagine a cone for position, where's acceptable will be on the 9. Drawing it, you were already in the cone, and you were just going to get better and better and better as you drew it further back. The top right, he would have gone away from the cone the whole time.
Away and then across the cone to try to stop on it. Yeah. Gotcha. It's a good way to look at it. You guys at home take notes. Mike will teach you something just listening to us talk.
That's a pretty simple concept. I like to, imagine a cone for position where it's acceptable to make the ball first, and then find sections of the cone where it's more, preferential to get to the next ball. Because one side of the cone, like, you can make it, but you're in trouble. The other side, you can make it have really natural positions sometimes. So I break it down into like a smaller and smaller cone, like to which one I really want to be in.
I'm going to remember that. That's a very good way to look at it. Good analogy. Good spatial analogy there to think about. Like you said, you don't want to cross the shot line and end up on the wrong side, but you do want to be able to make the ball on the wrong side's better than nothing, but then narrow it down to what makes your shape natural for the next, and then hope we're paying attention when Mike gave you your lessons and you can actually execute it. Again, Mike Davis pool lessons. Everybody give him a holler. I don't want to hear anything about, I don't know why I can't play. It's because you didn't call Mike. Got to call Mike.
What's my excuse why I can't play that?
I hadn't seen any of that. I'm not sure. I saw you miss a couple of balls earlier, but I could see that you were just toying with people. Got to let everybody play. That's what we're going to say it was. They can't prove us wrong. They can call me a liar, but they can't prove it. I'm going for this combination. And at least the 4 got clear.
Yeah, the 4 got clear. He's going to have to make a run out. Yeah, a couple of balls he had, maybe just this 4 and then a 5-9 combo is what it looks like. But that combo, the 9 was going a little bit down the rail. Even as, he didn't hit it super clean, but the way that he hit it, sometimes those balls will go if you hit them really soft. So there's a lot of balls, when I'm shooting down the rail in particular, I try to be very conscious of my speed that the object ball is traveling, and the pocket plays a lot bigger.
Yes, you get firm with them, they will rattle. And of course, you gotta have the touch to play that one that slow. Play it slow like you're talking, but it is definitely a higher percentage than rattling back out of the pocket. About 1 millimeter from beautiful there. I think it's bad. I think you can see it fully. Looks like he's fully on the other jaw.
Yeah, those shots, 1 millimeter away, and you clip it and come down table perfect. A millimeter the other way, you follow it in, 2 ball scratches behind it.
Is that
Hill. Yep, Hill, I believe.
I thought it was. I had to look twice. You guys forgive me while I take my glasses up and back down and look at the computer and up at the string and make sure everything matches. The old guy can't see. Yeah, again, another hill match. National courtesy there amongst a couple of beasts. Congratulate each other for getting to the hill and then go back to scrapping.
Yeah, Nathan's been racking the ball as well. Usually this 3-ball probably fly right in. So that's a big difference if one player's struggling to get the balls to rack well. Both players are pretty close to evenly matched. The guy racking well, breaking well has got a huge advantage. I mean, this should be over again. You just 2 rails in the middle of the table.
Yeah, that really should be hell, I feel like I can get out from here.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, I can mess it up, but
me too. I messed up one about this easy against Monaim myself earlier. It's almost as easy here. But yeah, just keep a tiny angle on the 7. That's all you gotta do. He could go forward or stop it, draw back an inch or 2, whatever it is. And that was good. He walked around and checked exactly where he wanted to get. Sometimes, from one perspective, you think you got it right. You walk around and look, you're like, oh, I should be 2 inches further this direction, whatever. It's a really good habit to be in.
It's something I've started doing myself, is trying to make sure, even when I know what I'm good, or I think I know, or I looked at it when I was walking by, or whatever is in my head, just go ahead and take the 3 steps each direction and go put eyes on it and make sure. And it's made a big difference for me.
Yeah, I think it just really helps. If nothing else, it gives you like that confidence, that little mental clarity where you're like, okay, this is where I know I need to get to. So giving your brain every little bit more information for the shot is always a good thing.
Absolutely. All right. One hell of a match, gentlemen. One hell of a match. We appreciate everybody joining us there. We're up to 141 of you hanging out with us. I can't believe that many people can sit and deal with me for the afternoon, but it feels really good. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll take just a minute here, and we'll be back to join you for the next one soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot.